Good morning, y'all. This is Cody. Cody's Bait and Tackle, Warsaw, Missouri. Gonna give a little bit of a fishing report here. This is the very end of March. It's raining, quite a bit of rain. I kind of look for the Osage River to get trashy and nasty. Up above Tally Bend, where everybody's been snagging at. Looks like the end of the week, lots of rain. Uh, Probably not gonna be good for the spoonbilling up there. Them fish will push over to the banks, get in the trash line, try to get out of that trash. Uh, Pretty typical for big rains up there. They'll kind of tuck in pockets, maybe some in the creek, stuff like that. I'm sure the live scope guys will still manage to find them up there, but as far as trolling up there, it'll be a lot harder. Uh, But it might not trash up that bad either. I don't know. It's been awful dry for a while, so we'll see. A couple days, we'll know for sure what's going on up there. As far as the spoonbill down on Lake of the Ozarks, it sounds like it has been extremely spotty down there. The guys will find fish a couple days and then they're gone. Wind's been absolutely brutal though. I'm sure a lot of the stuff that's got fish probably isn't hardly fishable because of the wind. It's just been every day, it seems like. We had 2 good calm days this week and that was it. Every other day was windy. Yesterday morning was decently calm and then it got windy. Lots of boats. I didn't see a whole lot of spoonbill caught on Lake of the Ozarks. Ton of spoonbill from Tally Bend up caught yesterday. Most of them live scoping. A few of them jerking lead. Few of us still trolling up there catching them too. But I look for that to come to an end here pretty quick. The fish up there are really getting sporadic and thinning out quite a bit. I think some fish are coming back downriver with it dropping this week. Some are still trying to go up. They really didn't know which way to go this week, it looked like. One fish you had hit would be screaming downriver, the next fish would be screaming upriver and try to pass the boat. Just kind of depends, I think, on what the fish feel like doing right now. This rain will change all that. It'll make them want to go up. When that water comes up, they'll all try to go upriver, get their spawn in. So we'll see what happens later on this week with that. I have not heard hardly anything on Truman on white bass or hybrids. They should be up the creeks right now, fixing for their spring spawn, gravel bars, stuff like that. Crappie, all your creek mouths, all your bigger pockets. Anywhere them crappie go to spawn, they are staged up right now. From what I've seen, they're not anywhere close to the banks. There's still some right off the bluffs. Them fish will probably stay there till they get ready to spawn. Most of your fish are right dead center in the middle of the creeks, dead center in the middle of the pockets, the creek mouths, pocket mouths. Some are holding the timbers. Lots of fish just roaming. Everywhere I've been seeing crappie. On Truman, Lake of the Ozarks, it does not matter. Everybody that's been watching my Facebook this week, I've ran my spoonbill trips and caught hundreds and hundreds of crappie this week. It's probably the easiest fishing right now I've seen in a long time. I'm still using minnows, spider rigging with clients. I'm not live scoping them all or any of that. Not single pole fishing. You could do that, still catch some fish. Just with clients, it's a lot easier to spider rig. They can actually see their bites instead of having to feel it. 90% of people can't feel the bite when they do get bit single pole fishing. I don't run a whole lot of crappie trips. This time of year I'll run a few. Usually by snagging season I'm done with them, but it's so good this year. Lots of people still wanting to go. I'll run a few more trips. Probably until they start spawning, and then I'll be done with the crappie. I'm not big on fishing them during the spawn. A lot of people are. Good time to get kids out there off the banks. Then you don't need a boat. Catch all the crappie you want right off the banks. All over Truman. Down below the dam, it has been picking up lots of white bass coming out down there. A few good hybrids. Several walleye. There was one caught over 13 pounds this week. Just on small swim baits. Everybody coming in the shop, wanting to troll, wanting to do this. That's not what's catching the walleye right now, you guys. There's been a few caught on bottom bouncers, a few caught trolling. Most of the walleye that's coming out are just caught on small swim baits right now. Most of them, I think, are coming out after dark or right at dark or right at daylight. Not a whole lot coming out during the daytime. So you got to put in your time. That water's still been pretty clear down there. This rain might change that. It's raining pretty good right now again. So we'll see what happens. I'm sure them walleye will keep up another couple weeks. They ain't spawned yet, so be any time though. The water's 53 degrees down below the dam. Up on Truman yesterday, I had 61 when I got off the water up in the river part, Osage River part. As far as the dead water, you guys, everybody, I've caught fish there this week. I've caught fish on the bluffs on down. Just kind of depended on the wind. I caught fish in the creeks this week. Any deeper pocket in a creek right now is holding a ton of crappie. They're not necessarily on the banks. I've had people, I'll be out kind of off the bank catching them deeper. People coming right along beside me throwing at the banks, not catching a fish. You guys, that's not where they're at yet. They might be right at evening. There might be a few little males and stuff moving up on them banks. That is not where they're at yet. You're a couple weeks too early. Possibly 3 weeks too early. We get all the rain they're talking about, it might be an off spawn too. They might stay out deeper and spawn, or they might come up in the weed beds and spawn. It's just hard to say. But them crappie, from what I've seen this week, down on Lake the Ozarks side, jig fishing, you catch a lot of smaller fish. You know, the guys throwing the swim baits for walleye, the crappie they're catching are big. They're throwing 3-4 inch swim baits, catching a few crappie on them, and they are dandy 12, 13, 14 inch crappie. The ones I'm catching on minnows are, we had probably 20 shorts yesterday to keep 75 keepers. It wasn't nothing crazy on short fish. Most of the fish we kept, we didn't even have to think about measuring. We had 3 or 4 we measured that we kept. But most of them was all over 10 inches. A lot of 12, 13, 14 inch fish down there right now. And that's been the case in the creeks, on the bluffs. Anywhere they stage up before the spawn is holding fish right now. I had a lot of people in the shop, well, I'm not doing any good, I'm not doing any good. Well, you're trying to fish 3-4 foot deep around the docks or around the banks. That's not going to do any good, you guys. I can tell you till I'm blue in the face on that, and half the people are still going to go try it because they think it's time for the spawn. It isn't. So just watch what other people are doing. If they're catching fish, try to mimic it. Don't go do something completely different, especially if it's not working. I watched guys yesterday, a lot of people come up to me, talk to me, that wasn't catching anything, and I told them exactly what I was doing, how deep I was fishing. I caught crappie anywhere from 6 foot deep yesterday down to 16, 17 foot deep. Most of them was staying on Lake of the Ozarks right in that 8 to 14 foot range, but some of them would come up shallower, some of it would be deeper. Just kind of bounced my depth around and kept catching fish. That's really about all I've got for you guys on the crappie, white bass, walleye. I have not heard of any walleye at all coming off Truman. They should be up the creeks right now trying to spawn. I have not talked to anybody that's managed to catch them up there. I've heard of 1 or 2 being caught up the Sac River up past Osceola, but nothing really to give a report on. Catfish. When they was running water this week, it was a real good bite, current bite. Over on the ledges, mud flats had a good bite. Just right down below the dam in the current had a decent bite. Then they cut the water back this weekend. I heard yesterday catfishing was really rough, not much action. Seems like the guys fishing around the Spoonbill scraps, them fish are so full right now, they are not real active. I'm seeing a few small fish caught. When Spoonbill season first started, they was catching some bigger fish around them scrap piles, but looks like most of the fish now, from what I'm seeing, are fat and lazy. They're not doing a whole lot. So, give them a little bit. They run some current or some of them scraps down. Them fish will get back to feeding pretty hard. So looks like they're going to have some current to run after this rain. So we'll see what happens on the catfishing too. I haven't heard anything real solid on trimming on catfish. Looks like it's been real sporadic too, with the water dropping this week and lack of water flow in the lake. Uh, that's all I've got for y'all. I do want to mention, some of you guys that keep up with the news and all that, the tariffs going in are going to affect the cost of fishing goods. So far, the only company we have heard from that's going to raise prices dramatically is Pure Fishing, which that is a Bua Garcia, Fluger, Penn, Berkeley. It's a long list of fishing stuff that Pure Fishing carries. It looks like most of their stuff's going up right at 20%. That's all most of your snagging reels. A lot of stuff that we sell in the shop is going up. I was hoping it wouldn't, but time will tell. Hopefully it drops back down. We'll see what happens with the tariffs. Hopefully they get some trade deals going on and all that gets dropped. So we'll see. If not, hopefully some of these companies come back to the U.S. So that would be the best thing, but time will tell. I appreciate it, you guys, and thanks for tuning in.